The last thing I remember is my mother laughing. We were on Highway 1, the Pacific Coast Highway, the road she'd always wanted to drive. "Look, Eli," she said, pointing to where the cliffs dropped into fog. The edge of the world. I was 12. In the backseat, my sisters, Maya, 7, and Juno, 4, were fighting over a coloring book. My father was driving, one hand on the wheel, the other reaching back to separate them. "Girls, please. Your mother's trying to enjoy the view." Then, a sound like the earth cracking open. A delivery truck, its driver asleep at the wheel, crossing the center line. My father's face in the rearview mirror, eyes widening. My mother's laugh turning to a scream. Then nothing. I woke in a hospital in San Luis Obispo with a fractured skull, a shattered femur, and no memory of my own name. The doctors called me John Doe for 3 days until a social worker found a backpack in the wreckage. My school bag, thrown clear. Inside, a lunchbox with my name written in my mother's careful script. Elias Cally. If found, please call. The number went to voicemail. A full mailbox. Disconnected 2 weeks later. My parents were dead. The police told me this gently, as if the words could be soft. Maya and Juno were alive, critical but stable at a hospital in Santa Barbara. But I, transferred for my head trauma, was alone. And in the chaos of the crash, in the miscommunication between hospitals, in the way tragedy scatters information like glass across asphalt. Someone made a mistake. I was listed as unidentified minor, parents deceased, siblings unknown. Maya and Juno, when they woke, were told their brother hadn't survived. That his injuries were too severe. That he was already buried, already gone, already a name they should forget so they could heal. They were adopted together by my father's sister, Aunt Rosa, who lived in Vermont. She changed their names, Maya and Juno Bennett now, to help them start over. To protect them from the story that had killed half their family. I, meanwhile, became a ward of the state. My memory returned in fragments. The smell of my mother's shampoo, the way Maya called me, Elias, when she was annoyed, Juno's habit of sleeping with one hand touching my shoulder. But the crash itself remained a hole. And the hole where my sisters should be, I filled it with silence. With the belief that they were dead too. That everyone was dead, and I was alone because alone was what I deserved. I aged out of foster care at 18. Became a paramedic in Los Angeles, the city where my family had started their vacation, where my father had rented the car, where everything had been possible. I told myself I chose this work to save people. The truth was darker. I wanted to be present at other people's worst moments. I wanted to witness the exact second when lives split apart, to see if it looked like my own memory felt. Maya Bennett, 23, is a speech therapist in Burlington. She doesn't remember the crash. Her first memory is waking in a white room with Aunt Rosa holding her hand, saying, "You're safe now. You're both safe." She has a photograph of her original family, my mother, my father, me with my arm around her shoulders. But Aunt Rosa told her it was a family they knew who died in a fire. "You liked them," Rosa said. "That's why you kept the picture." Maya believes this. Why wouldn't she? The mind protects itself. She looks at the photograph sometimes and feels an inexplicable grief, a homesickness for a house she's never seen. She dreams of a boy with her eyes who tells her to hold on, Maya, hold on, and wakes with tears on her face she can't explain. Juno Bennett, 20, is studying marine biology in Monterey. She was too young to remember anything, but she has constructed a mythology. She was born in California, near the ocean, and some part of her belongs to the Pacific. She collects shells. She drives Highway 1 every summer, though she doesn't know why. At the Bixby Creek Bridge, the exact curve where the truck crossed the line, she pulls over and vomits without warning. Every time. Motion sickness, she tells herself. The height. Neither sister has ever done a DNA test. Aunt Rosa discouraged it. Some things are better left unknown, she said, and they loved her too much to betray that trust. I am 31 when I get the call. I'm working a 12-hour shift, extracting a teenager from a rollover on the 405, when my phone buzzes. I ignore it. Then again. Then a third time, the emergency code my dispatch uses. I hand off to my partner and answer. Elias Cally? A woman's voice. Official. Medical. Speaking. This is Dr. Sarah Okonkwo from UCSF Medical Center. I'm calling about a patient in our ICU. Juno Bennett. She's listed you as her emergency contact. I freeze. The name means nothing. The voice on the phone continues. She was in a diving accident. Decompression sickness. She's stable but disoriented. She keeps asking for her brother. For Elias. I don't know a Juno Bennett, I say slowly. She described you. 12 years old in her memory. Scar above your left eyebrow. She said, you'd have a burn mark. On your right palm. From when you saved her from the fireplace. When she was 2. I look at my hand. The scar is there, white and smooth, a childhood memory I'd dismissed as unimportant. I'd pulled Juno back from the hearth. She'd touched the screen. I'd grabbed her. The burn had been worth it. She's not my sister, I say, but I'm already moving toward my rig. My sisters are dead. Mr. Cally, Dr. Okonkwo says gently. Juno Bennett was born Juno Cally. She has a birth certificate. She has an older sister, Maya Cally, now Maya Bennett. And according to her medical records, she had a brother who was reported deceased in 2009. But Juno says she saw you. In a dream. Last night. She says you told her to hold on. I am driving before I realize I've made the decision. North on the 101. 5 hours to San Francisco. I don't call Maya. I don't know how. Instead, I walk into the ICU at 11 p.m. with my paramedic badge and a face I haven't seen in 19 years. Juno is small in the bed. Tubes in her arms, oxygen in her nose. But when she opens her eyes and sees me, she doesn't look confused. She looks relieved. You came, she whispers. I knew you'd come. I don't understand, I say. They told me you were dead. They told me, everyone was dead. They told us the same. Juno's voice is hoarse, but her hand finds mine, fits into it the way it did when she was 4. Maya doesn't remember, but I do. I remember the hospital, the white room, Aunt Rosa saying he's gone, you have to forget him. I remember knowing it was a lie. She squeezes my hand. I looked for you. When I was old enough, I searched. But your name was wrong in the system. The crash record said Elias Cally, deceased. I found a grave in San Luis Obispo. I visited it. I brought flowers. I think of that grave. I know it. I've driven past it. A small marker in a coastal cemetery. Elias Cally, beloved son and brother. 1997 to 2009. I assumed it was a mistake, a confusion with another child. I never thought. Who buried me? I ask. Juno's eyes fill with tears. Aunt Rosa. She thought she was protecting us. Protecting me. I was so young, Elias. She thought if I believed you were dead, I'd stop asking. Stop searching. Stop crying. She pauses. She was wrong. I never stopped. I find Maya the next morning. She's at her clinic in Burlington, working with a stroke patient, when I walk in. She looks up, and her face goes pale. Not with recognition, with something deeper. Resonance. You, she says. You're the one from my dreams. We talk for 6 hours. Maya resists at first. Her constructed reality is comfortable, safe, loved. But I have the scars. I have the memory of our father's hands on the steering wheel. I know our mother's favorite song, Blackbird, by the Beatles. She sang it when she thought we were asleep. A detail never written down, never shared. Maya breaks. Not gently. She shatters in her office, surrounded by speech therapy posters, and when she's done, she calls Aunt Rosa. The conversation is brief. Rosa confesses everything. The miscommunication between hospitals, the social worker who told her I was dead, the funeral she arranged for a body that wasn't mine, the lie she told to protect 2 grieving girls from the possibility of losing me twice. I thought I was saving them pain, Rosa says, weeping. I thought if they believed he was gone, they'd heal. I didn't know, she stops. I didn't know he was alive. I didn't know until Juno called me this morning. But there's more. Rosa, afraid that I might one day find him, afraid that the truth would destroy the family she'd built, had changed the records. She'd used connections from her late husband's legal career to alter the crash documentation, to ensure that Elias Cally remained officially deceased, that no database would ever connect me to Maya and Juno Bennett. I was trying to protect you, she tells Maya. All of you. Maya hangs up. She looks at me, her brother, her ghost, her dream made flesh, and says, she stole you from us. She buried you while you were breathing. I shake my head. She stole me from myself. I built a life on the belief that I was alone, that I had to be. I became a paramedic because I thought, if I could save enough strangers, maybe I'd earn the right to exist. I take her hand, but here's the twist, Maya. The one none of us saw. I pull out my phone, show her a photograph, a delivery truck crushed against a guardrail. The same truck that hit our family. The driver's face, blurred but visible in the police photo. His name was David Cally, I say. He was 24. He fell asleep at the wheel after a double shift. He died in the crash too. Maya doesn't understand. So? David Cally was our father's cousin. Our family. He was driving that route because he was coming to meet us. He'd heard we were on vacation. He wanted to surprise us. My voice is steady, but my hands shake. I found this 5 years ago. I was researching the crash, trying to understand. And I realized, the accident that destroyed our family was caused by our family. I look at my sisters. I didn't tell anyone. I thought, if I carried it alone, if I made it my penance, maybe I could keep you safe. Even dead, I could protect you from knowing that our own blood did this. Maya is silent for a long moment. Then, you idiot, she laughs, wet and broken. You absolute idiot, you carried that alone? You let us believe you were dead, you let Rosa bury an empty casket, you spent 19 years punishing yourself. For what? For an accident? For genetics? She grabs my shoulders. Elias, look at me. The twist isn't that David Cally was family. The twist is that you're still here. That Juno dreamed you into finding her. That I knew your face before I saw it. That against every lie, every record, every system designed to keep us apart, we found each other. Juno, arriving from the hospital, stands in the doorway. Small, fierce, alive. The ocean brought me back, she says. I was diving where the kelp forests grow, and I thought, if I went deep enough, I'd find you. And then I got sick, and I saw you. In the dream, you said hold on. I look at my hands. The burn scar. The hands that have pulled hundreds of strangers from wreckage. The hands that never got to hold my sisters. I don't know how to be your brother, I admit. I don't know who I am to you. Maya smiles. You don't have to know. We have time to figure it out. We have time, that's the miracle. 19 years of thinking you were dead, and you're standing here, and you're breathing, and that's enough. That's the twist, Elias. Not the tragedy, the survival. We do not forgive Rosa immediately. We may never forgive her completely. But we understand. She was broken by grief, trying to build a wall around the only family she had left. I moved to Monterey, not into their lives, beside them. I buy a small house 3 blocks from Juno's apartment. I drive Maya to her clinic on mornings when her anxiety overwhelms her. I learn their habits, their fears, their favorite foods. I tell them about the foster homes, the paramedic calls, the grave I visited not knowing it was my own. Maya starts remembering, not the crash, the before. Me reading her Harry Potter in voices. The way I'd braid her hair when our mother was tired. My promise, I'll always find you. No matter what. She'd forgotten because forgetting was survival. Now she remembers because remembering is love. Juno returns to the water. She dives again, but differently now, deeper, calmer, unafraid. She tells me that the ocean feels like family, vast, unknowable, full of secrets that surface when you need them. We visit the grave in San Luis Obispo together. Elias Cally, beloved son and brother. We do not exhume it. We plant flowers, Mum's favorite, orange gerbera daisies, and I say aloud, for the first time, I'm not dead. I'm here, I'm here. The wind carries it away. The Pacific, visible from the cemetery, seems to breathe. I still work as a paramedic. Still extract strangers from wreckage. But now, when I hold a child's hand in the back of the rig, I tell them, someone is looking for you. Someone has always been looking. Hold on. I have 2 emergency contacts now. They answer every time. The distance between us, 19 years, 3,000 miles, a lie that became a wall, has not disappeared. It has become something else. A measure of what we survived. A map of where we've been. Maya frames the photograph. Our original family, whole, unknowing. She hangs it beside a new one, me, Juno, herself, on the Monterey coast, the Bixby Bridge distant behind us. We are not smiling. We are present. That is enough. Juno is writing her thesis on kelp forest ecology. She dedicates it to E, who taught me to hold on. And I, finally, sleep through the night. I still dream of the crash. But now, when I wake, I call my sisters. They answer. We talk until the sun rises. The distance between us, once infinite, is now simply space. And space, we are learning, can be crossed. If you're watching this and you feel like nobody is looking for you, like you don't matter, like your past is a locked door with no key, I want you to hear me. Your story isn't over. The answers you're searching for might be searching for you, too. And sometimes the scars you carry aren't just damage, they're proof that you survived long enough to find the truth. Don't give up. Keep going. Your turning point might be one broken vase away. If this story moved you, hit that like button and share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Drop a comment below and tell me your story. I read every single one. And if you're not subscribed yet, join this family so you never miss another video. Click that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're the first to know when the next story drops. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening, and thank you for reminding me that none of us are really alone. I'll see you in the next one.